Hi everyone, how are we all? I feel like I have to do the classic sign in because this is a classic video. There is something inside of me. I can't not make this video yearly. It can't not be my final video of the year. It's beyond tradition at this point. This is the 14th year of making this video. Like, how long is this gonna go on for? Am I gonna be like, this is the 40th year of me sharing my makeup favorites with you? I just have to, especially because I don't really do monthly favorites videos anymore, which I do kind of miss. Maybe I'll bring that back. I just think this is a really good way of checking in and being like, I know I've tried lots of different products over the year, I've shared lots of different products over the year, but these are the ones that are truly incredible and are like the best of the best. And I always love, I've got my list here, I always love going back through, looking at how it's changed throughout the years, like looking at some old favorites. It's going to be a little walk through makeup memory lane as we go. So let's start off. Primer. Oh yes, we have we started off with Benefit, the Professional, and last year ended up with Glossier Future Dew. And to be honest with you, if I did pick a primer this year, it would still be Glossier Future Dew. Like that or the Armani Luminous Silk one, I really like that one as well. Both very hydrating, although the Future Dew is like really, like it adds serious sheen onto the skin. If you are normal to kind of oily, Future Dew is not going to be for you. I definitely sit on the more dry, dehydrated side, therefore I love it. It is like juice to my skin. However, primer just hasn't been a product that I've been reaching for on the daily. I have my little makeup bag now. It's from Space & K, I'll link it down below for you along with everything else I mentioned in this video. But I've tried to edit it down. I'm like, can I fit this into the makeup bag? And everything that I share with you here fits into the makeup bag kind of perfectly. So probably because of that, I'm probably just, I don't know, I've been using the ultraviolet hydrating SPF, which leaves me quite like glowy after application. So just haven't really felt the need for it. So we can skip over primer this year. Foundation. I love looking back through the list of foundations because all of these I would still use. I've always kind of liked, I mean, back in the day I would then cake a lot of powder over the top of it, but I've always enjoyed Gemma Kid, Light as Air, the Jouer Luminizing Moisture Tin. Armani makes an appearance very early on in the list, 2013. That, oh my gosh, 2013. Wow, it's been 10 years using Armani Luminous Silk. I still have a bottle. I'm currently running at like a 4.5 shade, which I actually think is a really good year-round shade for me, actually. I really like the tone of it. So 4.5 is what I've got in my drawers now. And even though that isn't like a favorite this year, it's not something that I use every single day. It's something that will always be in my stash and has always been in my stash since 2013. It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I just really enjoy looking back through these. 2022, so last year we had the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. Still love, really enjoy that. And the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. Again, still enjoy that. However, this year I've gone back to two previous favorites. The MAC Face and Body was first mentioned in 2018, and then the NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer was first mentioned in 2021. And I would say these are the two that I've like gone back to the most. I do feel like there has to be a bit of an honourable mention of these two. The Glossier Stretch Foundation, is that what it's called? Stretch Fluid Foundation. That is one I use the shade Medium 1 in this. And then I've also got the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation in the shade 5N. These, if I want coverage and I like want a foundation, I would pick between either these or the Armani Luminous Skin Tint. But on a daily basis, I just go for a tinted moisturiser. Like I want something light on my skin. Oh, what should I go with today? Maybe the MAC Face and Body. MAC Face and Body is a little bit more sun-kissed in the colour that I've got. Oh yeah, shade-wise, I've got C2 in this and then Alaska in the NARS. Oh, I've got hair in that look. But they just give such a really nice, like evening out, fresh, skin-like glow, never heavy, never cakey, super easy to apply. Just apply it with the Western Atelier brush, which is what I've been using to apply my foundation for probably like 4 years at this point. And I just blend that all over the face. And yeah, it's just very natural. I never put it on and think, should have gone for something else. And that is the finish on the skin. It kind of dries down like a little bit, but still has that real sheen on the skin, which I love. In terms of how I pick between the two, if you were trying to pick a purchase, I feel like I use the NARS when I'm perhaps a little bit more dry, it's a little bit more creamy. When I'm more sort of set in the middle of like normal and oily, a bit more combination, I'd probably go for the MAC. They're really similar in terms of coverage, they're really similar in terms of finish. It's more just like a textural thing if you're trying to pick between the two. Hopefully that's helpful. Concealer. Last year it was the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer and the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. Both concealers that I still own, I still have, I still like switch between. You know what, now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I do really like both of those concealers as well. And even if we go like back through the list, Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away, that was good. This is the funny thing, I always like come back to this list and I'm like, I should really try the By Terry Touche Veloute concealer again. That was really, really nice. I wouldn't go back to Bobbi Brown. I think I'd find that a little bit too heavy, and I do find the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer a little bit heavy as well, but all the others on that list, I would go back to. We've gone back to, when did this first get on the list? 2016. Oh wow, we've gone back. Isn't it so funny how it's 7 years ago? And I'm like, back to my old favorite concealer. I think that's really entertaining. So much has changed, life is very different, but still absolutely loving this concealer. Also love they did a bit of a rejig this year. They didn't reformulate, but they brought out more shades that then match the foundation. I actually use the shade Light 2 in this concealer. I think I've gone back to this one because it's just the creamiest concealer out there. Like, if like me, you get a little bit dry under the eyes sometimes, this is never dry, never cakey, never dry, never clingy. So yeah, I've just gone back to it. I mean, it doesn't pack a punch when it comes to coverage. Like when it comes to covering up these like blemishes that I've got and any scarring that I've got, I do go in with something a little bit more heavy duty. But in terms of brightening and just like an everyday, like, I mean, even that patch of redness on my nose has kind of covered up quite well with that. It just blends out like a dream. And I never want to look cakey under the eyes. That's my thing. I'm like, I want to look glowy and fresh and have like a little bit of sheen going on. Like, I don't want it to look dry and, well, just dry, quite honestly. So I've gone back to this. Okay, powder. Oh, we had the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural really like reigned supreme for many years. And then I kind of had a few years being like, haven't really touched powder this year. Last year, I did use the Armani Beauty, the Luminous Skin Glow Fusion Powder. Still have that, still love that. But I really like this one. It's called Kosas Cloud Set. I use it in the shade Breezy. To be fair, it actually really reminds me of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. It's very similar. It's like a baked mineral powder, like very, very similar in that sense. But this has been really handy where this year I've been a lot spottier than I have ever been in my life, and this has been really good when I've applied that heavy duty concealer, which I just threw on a little bit now around my chin. When I put on that heavy duty concealer and I can just kind of tap it over those areas and really what's the word, just like actually set it. So I have been using this, like not every day, but it's there. Also really handy. We've been using flash photography a lot more in terms of like when we shoot stuff for brands. It's just like gives a nice feel to the images sometimes. And every time I look back, I'm like, oh, why did you not powder? So I'm learning that when I use flash photography, a little bit of powder actually is your best friend, because it just sets things down in a way where you don't look like you could throw an egg on your face in photos. So yeah, I've definitely reached for powder a little bit more than I have in previous years. I wouldn't say this is like a favorite to the level of my other favorites, but it's like a grade B favorite, you know? Contour is an interesting one. I love that my first contour favorite back in 2011 was the Sleek Contour Kit. Oh my gosh, what a throwback. Kevyn Aucoin, the sculpting powder, was basically like every single year. And then I had 3 years where there wasn't a favorite, and I was quite excited because I was like, this year, I've got a favorite again. It's from Victoria Beckham and it is the Contour Stylus. I think this is in the shade Travertine. So it's like a little roll-up pencil. I mean, that is the thing. You do not get a lot of product in this, but I have only got, that's all I've got left. That is all I've got left. I've thoroughly enjoyed using this. Yeah, you're not gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. I would say, to be fair, a really similar product is the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick, which was actually my favorite in 2019. I still have that as well, and I still really like it as a product, especially now they've brought out more shades. But yeah, I've actually been using this. There's really no rhyme or reason. I just do my double chin and then I do kind of on my non-existent cheekbones, and I'm like, cool, there you go, just press it in. But because, I mean, to be fair, the Westman Atelier is really similar. Maybe it's just because it's so small, it fits in my makeup bag really easily, but it's actually a product I've been using. I'd say I've worn this maybe like 75% of the time that I've done my makeup, which I feel like that warrants a favorite. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this product. It makes a very subtle difference, but it makes a difference that I can see. And I feel like it makes me feel better about my chin situation. So I like it. Bronzer, oh my gosh, 2010, the Bourjois Chocolate Bronzer. Oh, that is a classic. The smell, I feel like I can smell the smell if I think about it now. NARS Laguna bronzer. Last year we had the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer and the Beauty Pie Awesome Bronze in Goldilocks, which I still like that if if I'm in the mood for like a powder bronzer. But this from Makeup by Mario, look at it. This has definitely been the year where I've like found my makeup favorites and I've just sat in that lane. I've just cruised. I've been like, yeah, this is the bronzer that I like, which is good. I'm like using stuff up. I definitely own less makeup than I ever have previously in my life. I still probably have more than like the average person, but it fits like in a drawer. That doesn't seem small at all, does it? But it fits very comfortably in quite a small space, which it previously hasn't been. I definitely feel a lot more like edited. I think I own like this bronzer, the Beauty Pie one, the Victoria Beckham one, the Merit Stick, and maybe that's it. I mean, still to own 4 bronzers is definitely not like, oh, look at me, minimalist. But to be like working in this space and have 4 bronzers, I don't think is too bad. But this bronzer, it's the finishing touch. Like I could very happily just stick down my brows, put on a bit of lip balm, curl my lashes, put this on and be like, we're done. Like, I'm ready to go. It's hard to describe because it's not a classic cream bronzer. It has, I mean, if you look on the cheeks, it has a sheen to it. It kind of doesn't set down, which I guess some people might not like. It's very much a balm texture. It's like a tinted balm, but it does have that bronzy warmth, which means that you're getting a bronzer out of it, but it also feels a little bit sculpting because it has that sheen to it. So you're almost getting, in my eyes, like a contour bronzer and a highlighter in one. I'm absolutely obsessed with this product. Like this might be my favorite of the year. I use the shade light medium in this, and when it runs out, I will be buying a new one immediately. Blush, oh, I quite like looking back through blush. MAC Blush in Melba. Oh, you know what? I actually like repurchased that for a video like a couple of years ago and was like, I really like this color still, it's gorgeous. I've always loved, I mean, if you look back through the list, it's very much, it's peachy pink. It's a peachy pink. Oh, the Tarte Hamzonian Clay Longwear Blush in Tipsy. Every now and again, I get like an itch that I need to scratch about that blush, and I look for it and I don't think they make that shade anymore. But that was like, oh, that was bright. That was when I was in like quite a full-on blush wearing phase. That was back in 2013. We're talking 10 years ago now. I have done this for a long time, guys. I actually met a really nice reader in Victoria Station like a few weekends ago, and she was like, I have watched you from the beginning. And I was like, girl, that's 14 years. Thank you so much. So thank you, Matilda. That was really lovely. You said such lovely things. I thought I might cry, actually. You caught me on a hormonal day and it was really lovely. So if we ever cross paths, please do say hi, because it really like makes my year, quite honestly. Blush last year, 2022, the Ilium Multi-Stick in Whisper. Still have that, really like it, but I feel like it's been replaced this year by this. The Merit Flush Balm Cheek Colour. There's actually quite a lot of Merit here. There's a lot of Merit, there's quite a bit of Armani, and Glossier. They are the things that have made like multiple appearances across different categories. But yeah, it's a peachy pink. I've worn this quite a lot and like hasn't even really gone down that much. I feel like this is going to last you a really long time. Someone did ask what happens when like the dome goes. That is a good question. I guess maybe I would get to the point where I would just like dip a brush in and then blend it on my cheeks in that way. But yeah, it's just a really nice cheek colour that I can put on, dab in, and it kind of feels like you're not wearing blush, but in a good way. There's something about wearing this with green eyes as well. I feel like if you've got green eyes, it's a really nice pairing, but I just think it looks very flushed and very natural on the cheeks. Like that is what I'm about. Again, creamy, it doesn't like set down, but I love that texture on my skin, so Love that one. Highlighter. Highlighter is always an interesting one to look down because you've got things like Dior Amber Diamond highlighting powder, which I'm pretty sure I still own. I've got like a little bag upstairs in the loft that's got like my kind of old makeup in it and some limited edition things that I like never want to get rid of, and I'm pretty sure that's still up there. I mean, oh, gloss, to be fair, Glossier Halo Scope Quartz, would 100% still use that now. The Chanel Balm Essential and Sculpting, still got that, still really love that. That's probably like one of my favorites. If I was to pick one for this year, it would be that. I still really like that. It's just not a product that I've been reaching for. I mean, my skin has enough glow to it when I use all of these things. To be fair, by the time sometimes I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh, maybe I could have used a highlighter. It'd be nice to have a little bit more glow by the end of the day because my skin kind of eats it up and obviously like gets drier throughout the day. But I never look at my makeup at this point and think, need a highlighter. So I haven't really used it this year. I haven't got a pick this year. And also, like I said, it's probably down to me trying to like fit things into quite a small contained case. If there's a category that I'm just like, not really sure I need this, then it goes. Brow pencil, again, not applicable, haven't really been using. To be fair, I did actually use the Hourglass Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. This is in the shade Dark Brunette, and also the Kosas one. I think, did I pick this up in New York? I might have. Kosas Ultra Fine Detailing Pencil in brown black. Just because I've got like a naked patch in my eyebrows here. So I do sometimes just take this pencil and like fill it in a little bit. Oh, I'd say that's maybe a little bit too warm for me. I think this one, the Hourglass, is a better color. Yeah, the Hourglass is definitely a better color for me. But yeah, definitely not something I've been using every day or can be bothered to do every day. Brow gel. Guys, we have a new entry into the charts. It has been Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel for quite a while. This is like one of those really like love it or hate it products, because if you put this in your brows, you can't touch them. That's it. It's in for the day. If you touch them, you will basically just like twizzle it out of your brows. It's really satisfying, but sometimes you do pull out brow hairs, but you will just twizzle it out all day. So this is like all day glue for your brows. But I've kind of been embracing a slightly larger brow look. I think I'd love to get to a place where maybe I'll like tweeze out the center and might do like a bit of shaping above, but they're kind of just a bit more in their natural form. It means like less maintenance on my part, and like I kind of love big brows. So that would be really cool if I could get to a place where they don't need as much maintenance. I'm not sure if that's possible, we'll see. But I really like this one from Rose Inc, just for a slightly more natural look. It's just the clear brow gel. It doesn't hold them down as well, but it kind of gives them a fluffiness and like a bit of structure, and they stay in place enough for me. So yeah, new entry, really liking this one. Eye primer. I mean, that's always a fun one to look back on because it basically was NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. Just like boom, there you go. That was my favorite for 10 years. But it's another non-applicable, like another one of those product categories that like right now at this moment in time, I'm like, I think it can go. Especially because I feel like now I'm very much in a cream liquid eyeshadow phase, and I feel like they don't benefit as much from a base as a powder does, which might seem counterintuitive. It might seem that you would need it more, but I find that what I'm going to show you for my eyeshadow favorites, like the liquid actually sticks down quite well, and then the cream actually lasts quite well as well. And maybe I'm not so bothered about it looking perfect now. I'm a bit more like, okay, it's creased a bit, and I just get my finger and like blend it in. Like, I don't know, it's just not a category that I find myself reaching for. Eyeshadow, that's another one I like to look back on actually. Always funny because it just shows that I've always liked basically the same shade family of eyeshadows for the last 10 years, 14, sorry. I was always gonna get, like whenever I do these videos, I will say like 2022 when I mean 2023. I will always get like the dates wrong at some point in this video, so that was bound to happen. Anyway, it is interesting that it started in kind of more, back in the day, I was definitely more into like a shimmer, all that glitters, obviously. Or the Chanel Illusion d'Homme in Omaville, like again, that was like shimmery, peachy kind of shimmery shade. Then I very much went to mattes in 2017, and I've never looked back. I've got two favorites this year. Last year it was the Armani Eye Tint in shade 23. It's discontinued, it's gone. Thank you to Diana in the US. You sent me a 23 and I'm still using it and I still love it. But I do like the reformulated Armani eye tints. I do think that the shade 20M is nice. It's not a dupe. It hasn't got like 23, gonna like romanticize it in my head now. 23 has this like slight iridescence to it. I know I've said like I'm anti-shimmer these days, but they're just a slight iridescence that makes it a little bit translucent on the eye. It's gorgeous. It is still my fave, I would say, but 20M is really gorgeous as well. It's what I'm wearing in like most of my photos or videos or whatever. This is now like my daily go-to. But I did also really enjoy the Merit Solo eyeshadows this year. I think this was such a good launch. The Cheddar was the one that I started off with. I'd say this goes on my eyes a little bit paler than it is in here, if that makes sense. But I really enjoyed that one. Actually very, very similar to the Armani, very, very similar. But I also really like, I bought Mid-Century when they launched. I'll put it next to the Cheddar just so you can see. This one's the Cheddar, this one is Mid-Century. Really gorgeous, really, really gorgeous. What shall I do today? I might do Mid-Century. I feel like this is kind of cheating a little bit because I do feel like my favorite of the year is the Armani, but I just fancy something a little bit deeper today. And in terms of a favorite of how I apply them, I apply all of these with the Makeup by Mario EF2 brush. I just think it's the nicest brush for getting a really sheer wash of color all over the lids and like blending it above the crease and then almost like winging it out a little bit. It fits in my eye, fits on my eye socket really nicely. And I feel like you can pick up just a really tiny amount of product and make it go quite a long way. I'm into it. Right, eyeshadow palette. Last year, I was all about the Beauty Pie James Malloy eyeshadow palette in gold. It had that really nice shade in it. It had some shimmers in it. I smashed it. Oh, I'm so gutted. I'm so gutted. I was shooting with it. It fell onto our like understairs, our new understairs bathroom, on the floor, on the tiles, and shattered, which I was gutted about. I haven't replaced it because honestly, I wear singles. Most of the time I wear singles over a palette. I mean, I still have Makeup by Mario Master, Mattes palette, really gorgeous palette. Again, I think it's to do with the makeup bag. I just don't necessarily have space in here for it. So yeah, I feel kind of like I'm okay. I'm okay without having a palette favorite in my life. I haven't had one previously and it's okay not to have one again. I still have my perfect, like my MAC palette with my 4 different shades in it as well. The Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Oh my God, that was a great one. So yeah, I'm kind of okay with like not having a eyeshadow favorite for this year. Eye pencil, again, one that we can just like let go. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've had an eye pencil favorite. I now really love the Victoria Beckham ones. They're my favorites. I've got like a brown, I've got a sparkly brown, I've got a burgundy. That's what I've got. Oh, I think I've got their nude one as well. And I'm like, that's good. I've got them there if I ever need them, but I don't feel like that's a category I need to particularly like buy more of. Mascara. Okay, we need to give an honorable mention with mascara, and I've got this out, so I remembered to mention it. I can't remember what video it was that I posted recently, and I was like, big love to my lash serum, and people were like, what lash serum are you using? It's this, it's the Revitalash, but the advanced sensitive version. If I use the normal version, I look like I've got pink eye. It really aggravates my eyes. I end up with like pink rings, like literally around my eyes. Even when I try and, you know, use it every other day and like introduce it slowly, just doesn't work for me. But the advanced sensitive one, I don't get the rings around my eyes. And like these are my eyelashes without anything on them. You know what, let me recurl them. Yeah, these are my eyelashes without anything on. And they just don't look like this normally. I need to go get them recurled. I think I'm going next week. But yeah, oh, they're good. They're so, oh, this is good. This is really good. I don't know if it makes my eyelashes grow longer or it just like holds on to my eyelashes more, like, or maybe it does a bit of both. I just really notice a difference when I use this, and I feel like it has made my lash lifts better. I feel like it has made mascara better. It is really, really expensive. I picked up multiple ones in the Black Friday sale because that's the only time that it ever really goes on sale. So yeah, I wish there was a cheaper dupe. I know some people use UK Lash, Beauty Pie have ones out as well. But this one, I'm just like, oh, this one works so good. I used the Olaplex one for a bit and it was good, but not as good as this one. So I'm quite married to this one right now. Mascara. Anyway, I'm quite excited about mascara because we're going back to an old favourite. My favourite last year was the Armani Icicle Wet Waterproof Mascara, and then also the Beauty Pie, the Perfect Waterproof Mascara. Oh, I did like that one. I feel like I did that thing where I like used it up and then didn't repurchase it and actually should, because that one gave like boom volume. And I've kind of done a similar thing this year in like the Armani is light, fluttery, everyday, very natural looking. And I've gone back to this, the Lancome Miss Your Big Waterproof Mascara. This was my favorite back in 2018. Oh, looking back through the list, like my Fairy Drops, the Heroin Make Long and Curl Mascara, God, that was a really good mascara. It's making me want to pick up some more, some more makeup. Me being like, I don't own that much makeup these days. It's making me want to buy some. I really like this one. What I like to do the most is to curl my eyelashes. I mean, normally I'd have a lash lift, but it's well and truly run out at this point. And then kind of go in with the mascara and really cake it on. And then what I've been doing is, I mean, if I was going on, you know, kind of going full on more like an evening makeup, or like I went to a wedding recently, I probably would just leave them big, but I kind of get them really big and then I brush it through just so there's not as much product on the end of the eyelashes. I'll show you what I mean. I mean, look how massive. How massive you can get your eyelashes with this. But then what I do is I take the spoolie on the end of my eyebrow thing and then I just get rid, almost like 50% of the product really. And then this is the finished look, just a little bit more natural, a little bit more wispy, which some people might just be like, why don't you just use this one? But I know this just has a little bit more volume to it. So this one is done, this one isn't. I really, really love that mascara. Let me do the other one and I'll catch up with you. Okay, lashes on, we've moved on to lips. I have previously said that the Augustus Bader lip balm is the best lip balm of all time. And you know what, it is great. Like if you just want more like a skincare lip balm, it's still Mark's favorite. He is obsessed with that. Very expensive lip balm. If you've got like really dry lips and you want pure nourishment, like that is still kind of a before bed lip balm, if you know what I mean. But in terms of more of a makeup-y lip balm, this is what I've been using this year. If you have watched any of my videos, any of my Instagram reels, like anything where I've put makeup on, the fact that this is a favorite will not come as a surprise to you. You know what, they actually last really well. Like, are they quite massive lip balms? 15 grams. I don't know, it does feel like quite a lot. I've got nothing to really compare it with, but it does seem like quite a lot of lip balm. I've tried the Rhode lip balms. I don't like them. I think they're a bit, they're like nourishing for 10 minutes and then they go a bit tacky and dry on your lips. Like I'm all here for the Summer Fridays. I think they're totally worth it. I bought backup of this already. I've got the mint one at the moment as well in my bag. It's nice. I did use that one as a little cuticle oil on the train yesterday. My cuticles and my hands are like so dry. So I just put a little bit on my cuticles and like rubbed it in. And it worked quite nicely. But this one, the pink sugar, it has a tint to it, but that's the tint. Like it has, but it hasn't, if you know what I mean. It's more just a really nourishing lip balm. I put it on every single time I do my makeup. It's incredible. Like this is a daily use thing for me. And I've used it like easily since the summer, easily a good 6 months, and it's still going strong. Like it still feels like there's a lot in there. So really, really enjoy this lip balm. Lipstick, you know what, last year I did the Hermes Rosy Lip Enhancer. I still really like that one as well. This year would probably be the closest year I would have to having no lipstick favorite. Controversial. Oh my gosh, Cream Cup. Sorry, I just saw Cream Cup and like Hue. Oh my gosh, those were the days like going into MAC and like standing at the lipstick like counter bit and just like swatching every single lipstick. I feel like I committed each of the finishes, you know, like the ranges. I'd committed like every single shade to memory. Oh my god, I was obsessed. Still think that's a great lipstick formula, but just haven't been so into lipstick. I've either been doing a lip liner, we'll get onto this, like a lip liner and a balm, or just a balm, but like actually doing like just a lipstick. I'm gonna share with you what my favorite has been, like what I have been reaching for. It's the Merit Signature Lip in Baby. Looks a little something like this, really similar to my natural lip color actually. So it kind of just evens them out. But I do find that sometimes when I'm looking at myself, this is really strange, when I look at myself with lipstick on, it's like the thing that pushes it over the edge. It's the thing that then makes it look like makeup-y to me. Does that make sense? So if I do put it on, I really blend it in, which kind of isn't the point. To be fair, I did really enjoy this when it first like came out. Was that like February, like March time? So the beginning of the year, I was very much like married to the lipsticks from Merit. I think they are like such a really lovely formula, especially if you like that natural finish on the lips. I'd say since the summer onwards, I've been like a lip balm girl. So I need to include it. It's a 2023 favorites after all, but like right now, definitely feeling a lip balm more. Lip liner was a new category for last year. I was like, actually, we need to add it in because I really loved my Makeup Forever Artist Colour Lip Pencil in the shade 602, completely sepia, which is here. Honestly, just haven't reached, oh no, let me just put a little bit on. I just haven't reached for it as much as I previously had the year before. I mean, sometimes I do it with a lip balm on. I guess sometimes I would do it with a lipstick as well, but I wouldn't feel like this is a favorite this year. It's kind of in my bag quite often because sometimes when I'm filming, especially, I just like to like fill out my bottom lip a little bit more, like define my top lip because I kind of lack definition. It goes kind of like freckly and then just into skin. So it's quite nice to like define the lip line if I'm being professional, but I don't really feel the need to do it every day. So it's not really like, it kind of is a favorite, kind of isn't. And then setting spray, makeup spray, nothing, no setting sprays. So that is it. Those are all, I love what's in front of me. Like these products, I'm like, yeah, this is me in a nutshell, in a makeup bag. I'm very happy with these. Okay, that is it. My 2023 makeup favorites in a nutshell, in a makeup bag. No surprises there, I can imagine, if you've seen any of these videos. But yeah, I'm very happy with all of those, and it is always just a nice way to like round off the year. And I just want to say a huge thank you, a beyond massive thank you to you for supporting what I do and being able to make my dreams a reality. Like the fact that I get to call this my job like isn't lost on me. It is not lost on me at all. It is a huge privilege. It is literally a dream come true, and thank you so much for the support that you give me to enable me to continue to do this for my work, for me, for my family. Like we're just forever grateful. So thank you so much. I really hope you have a wonderful festive period, however you celebrate, whoever you celebrate with, sending all the love and good vibes your way. And I feel like I've filmed this bit so many times now to like do a sign off and just be like, thank you so much for like hanging on in there with me. Because I know, I basically was saying before, when I like scrapped this clip, I was like, no, my God, I need to start again. Just, it's really hard to know like what to share online and what not to share online. And I feel like now I have a lot of like boundaries in place to like protect myself, like mentally and physically. Like I kind of know what I want to share and what I don't. Like I feel like I know that in myself now. But yeah, like this year has been a huge improvement. I feel very lucky to be like mentally in this place again. I definitely feel like me again. I feel like true happiness again, and that hopefully shows. But the last 2 years, guys, the last 2 years have been really tough mentally, physically, not in a great place. And it's been so lovely to have a corner of the internet where I can just come and like share my favorite lip balm, talk about jeans that I love, and just feel like me again. So thank you for like hanging on in there and allowing me that time, like the time and the space that I've like really, really needed. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I feel like we're ending the year on a high and we just feel very, very lucky. And I feel very loved, so thank you. Anyway, enough rambling from me. I'm sure you've got some quality streets to go and tuck into and some Christmas films to go and watch. I hope you have a great Christmas break, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching, bye.